masang Pilipino. Sa Metro Manila, ito ang Dzxl 558 Radyo Trabaho, ang inyong gabay sa hanap buhay. Sama-sama nating silipin ang mga kaganapan sa bawat sulok ng Metro Manila. Mahigpit nating babantayan ang bawat issue sa inyong mga lugar at sabay-sabay nating bigyang solusyon ang mga problema sa inyong mga komunidad. Dito lamang yan sa Dzxl, Pulso ng Metro. Dzxl,
Pulso ng Metro!
Magandang tanghali po mga kasama. Ito po ang programang Pulso ng Metro. Ako po inyong lingkod, Deo De Guzman. Pero magbibigay daan muna po tayo mga kasama ngayong araw para po doon sa nagaganap na pagdinig ng Senado. Kaugnay po, nagkasanga-sanga na. Ngayon na pinag-uusapan nila ay Ninja Cups. At pumunta po tayo ngayon kay Ex-Radyo Mendoza Joyce Adra. Kaugnay po sa Senate hearing. Kasamang Joyce?
Kasamang Deo.
Okay.
Kasamang Deo. Mainit pa rin na pinag-uusapan ngayon ang issue hinggil sa demotion lamang na itinataw nga dito sa tinaguriang Ninja Cup sa halip na ito ay dismissal, partikular na nakasentro sa kaso nitong si Major Baloyo. Pakinggan natin ang pagpapatuloy ng pagdinig ng Senado.
Sinabi sa iyo, hindi mo nalalaman yan, tama?
Yes, Your Honor. And
Okay, malinaw.
Mr.
Go ahead,
Chairman,
Senator Soto. Ayoko pigilin si
cut,
Senator Soto.
it's correct. To cut a long story short, the root of the problem is the one who prepared the case.
precisely, Your Honor, I agree.
Correct, di ba?
Yes, Your
O yun
Honor,
ang tanongin nyo. Sino dyan ang nag-prepare nito na gawing Section 21 lang? Mishandling of evidence lang yun eh. Kaya talagang ang pupuntahan mo, demotion.
Yes, Your Honor.
May lumoko dun sa charge. Dahil hindi pinaniwalaan yung investigasyon ng CIDG na 200 kilos yung tinira at mayroong pinakawalan na drug lord.
Your Honor, as a lawyer, I
Diba?
would not rely on such
So,
unti matters.
Mr. Chairman, I think your committee should look into who prepared the case.
Yes.
Yun ang sabi, the root.
Ikaw ba nag-prepare? Bagamasbad? Umamin ka na.
Sorry sir, negative.
Bilo yan. Sige, ano?
Member nga po ako ng summary hearing board.
Ah?
Member po ako ng summary hearing board.
Summary,
Hearing board. The summary hearing board, Mr. Chair.
hearing board.
Yes, sir.
Sige. Pakisabi lang ko sino na summary hearing board. Pero dineclare ng dismiss eh. Sino ang nagharap pagkatapos ng demotion? Yan ang tinatanong dapat ni Senator Soto. With all due respect. Kasi,
Mr. Chairman, if I may, wala pong problema doon sa main case.
wala.
Sa dismissal nga eh.
Oo.
Ang nagkaloko-loko ito doon sa MR. And we want to find out, pwede nyo ba i-submit yung records of the case from MR to the downgrading of the
To
penalty from dismissal to demotion? Wala kayong discussion, di ba? When I look at the case folder, pinayagan nyo nga mag-file ng collective MR. Nagtanong ako sa lawyer, Secretary Guevara, di po ba pagka nag-file ng MR, dapat individual? Kasi iba-iba yung kanilang justification kung bakit pwedeng i-grant yung kanilang MR.
In this particular case, that is correct, Senator.
Pero ang ginawa nila, collective, tinanong ko sila eh. Isang MR lang daw for the whole group ang i-final. Magkakaiba yung depensa, sila kasama na, ang depensa, wala ako dun eh. Paano magkakapare-pareho isang MR lang sila?
Your Honor,
So, the one that I'm trying to point out here, mukhang may lutong Macau between MR and the decision na lumabas noong October 17, 2017. Nagkalutuan dito do sa MR. For whatever reason, hindi ko na alam. Pero maliwanag na mukhang ang doktoran nangyari noong nag-file ng MR ng March 14, 2016 hanggang sa nagkaroon ng panibagong decision granting the MR, hindi naman ginrant, partially granted. Kasi from dismissal, naging demotion. Pero yun nga nakapagtaka, binabasa namin, walang discussion eh.
Wala.
Ngayon, ang tanong ko nga, ito, pwede sabihin hypothetical. After hearing all the proceedings, dito sa committee hearing, kung ngayon mo gagawin yung decision mo, will you stick with the motion? After hearing all the testimonies of the barangay officials, the testimonies of the three policemen, the testimonies of everybody in this hall, ano magiging decision mo?
Sir,
No, answer lang. Demotion or dismissal?
Sir, the answer is dismissal, Your Honor.
Dismissal.
But, Your Honor, may I qualify? The hearing or the proceedings here, that a mere testimony should pass the test of competency and relevancy to be considered as evidence, Your Honor. It must be an evidence to be attached
well,
to the records of the case.
Hypothetical naman ito lang, because syempre, after the fact, lumabas na yung mga decision. Ang problema lang namin, bakit may convene na properly na screening board, no, na yung talaga nagdidikan, di sinabing dismissal. Pagdating sa inyo, dismissal, tapos binalik, demotion. Merong nagpapagalaw eh. Paano babalik sa demotion? Tapos, pagbalik kay General Aquino, dismissal. Hindi ginalaw ni General Aquino. Maring naipit siya o ano. Pagdating ni, I'm sorry, I'm not picking on your General Corpus. I just want to be sure you know where I'm coming from. Hindi ko maalis makita. 86 si General Albayalde, 86 kayo, nangangausap siya ng 85, ngayon 86, biglang pagdating sa iyo, ipapalipat mo ulit doon sa legal. Samantalang may decision na. At yun ang hindi ko ma-accept. Paano maniniwala ang tao na nagbabago-bago ang decision? Dapat panindigan natin because ang objective nito, malinis yung kapulisan. That's why I laid the predicate kanina. Ang daming kaso, agaw ba to, na hindi nahuhuli, inaagaw yung ebidensya, may kotse pang nakukuha dalawa, at ang lalaki ng amounts ng drugs, pero hindi nire-report. Kaya napakahalaga na hanahabol talaga ito. Now, it will sound like we're quibbling over decisions. The decision has been made. Pag na-decision, gawa na yung decision, bakit babaguhin? Yung nag-hearing, yung una, yung kay Petresanta, kay General Petresanta sila naka-hear Kaya binilang ko yung hearing. Hindi naman ako nagbibigay lang dito. Araw-araw sinabi ko kung anong hearing yan. Na-hear nila, ang decision sa araw-araw, dismissal. Tapos, pagdating ko sa motion for reconsideration, ni walang discussion, bigla na lang babaguhin na demotion na lang. Okay? So, yun na ang gusto kong malaman. Now, General Corpus, I have to ask you this question. Umaalingaw ngayon meron bang lumapit sa inyo, kaklase nyo, kakampi ninyo, kaibigan ninyo?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Wala, okay. I just want to get it for you because you're all on the road, ha? Go ahead.
After hearing all this, after the hearings, several hearings, after also hearing the comment of Attorney Lopez here, this is the very reason po kung bakit the administrative case after all this hearing will now be reviewed also by the IAS. In fact, I already directed the DIDM who is here to coordinate with our IAS dahil yung po din ang suggestion nyo, Mr. Ronos.
You remember I suggested that to you right here in this position here when you were here.
Yes, sir.
I said, Oscar,
it will be now...
imbisigayin mo na lahat dyan.
Yes, sir. That's why the very reason why after this, sir, there will be a
Tanggalin
reinvestigation
mo na yung dapat tanggalin. Go ahead, General Lacson.
Tatanungin kita pareho ng tinanong ko kay Colonel Lopez. NAPOLCOM is now reviewing. In fact, di ba? Also po, Vice Chair Kasurao, would you confirm that NAPOLCOM is also conducting a review of the administrative case?
We confirm that, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Ang tanong ko ngayon, Chief, ex-officio member ka ng NAPOLCOM, being the Chief PNP, di ba? Kung maglabas ng resolution yung NAPOLCOM, reversing the findings of General Corpus from dismissal to yung partial granting of the MR. Siyempre, pipirma ka sa resolution ng NAPOLCOM. Kung magkaroon ng resolution, reverting back the penalty to dismissal, will you sign it?
I'll sign it, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Before that, just a point, Senator Drilon. After hearing all this, what is the action of the DOJ? This is not just an administrative issue.
As I explained, Senator Soto, the dismissal of the criminal charge against the same people is under automatic review by the DOJ. But if we do so, meaning will be confined only to the evidence on record or presented to the Secretary of Justice, then in the light of new evidence unfolding, that will not serve the ends of justice. So instead of merely confining ourselves to the evidence presented during the preliminary investigation in 2014, we decided to reopen the case, to reinvestigate the case, so that any additional evidence that might have unfolded in the interim, including those that came up during the Senate inquiry, would be considered in the reinvestigation. And I would like to request the Senate Committee Secretariat if transcripts of the Senate hearings pertaining to the so-called media cops would be made available immediately, because I'm sure that any interested party who will be called upon during the reinvestigation may find urgent need for these transcripts.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Now, just one more point before I transfer to the floor to Senator, the Minority Leader. You mentioned a automatic review. During the time of Secretary Dato Manong and then Secretary Gonzales, there was a circular that all drug cases that are dismissed will be automatically reviewed under the Office of the President, and the personalities involved cannot be released. It was amended by Circular 06 during the Aquino administration, that it became a circular automatic review under the Office of the Secretary of Justice, napunta sa SOJ. And then, the personalities may be released. Eh, sabi ko nga, pagka ginawa nyo yan, during the time of Secretary Aguirre already, sabi ko, correct nyo yan. Because pag pinakawalan nyo yung drug lord, hindi nyo makukuha uli yan pag nag-automatic review kayo. So, may we know the status now of the circular as far as your incumbency is concerned?
Well, just to explain, Senator Soto, this particular case was for dismissal. So, wala talagang aakyat sa court because there was a finding na walang probable cause. Kaya hindi siya talaga aakyat sa court, and no warrants of arrest may be issued because no information would be filed. So, ganun ang situation, kaya may automatic review. Maybe you're referring to a situation...
What I'm referring to is the dismissal dismissal is recommended by the DOJ. I'm not talking about the courts already. The circular that you have, it used to have, is pag prosecutor, sinabi ng prosecutor, i-dismiss, there is an automatic review under the Office of the President. Ganun dati. As a matter of fact, it happened in the La Union Mega Shabu Laboratory. It was being dismissed in the provincial level by the prosecutor. Kaya hinabol namin at automatic review under the Office of the President. Kaya nahabol uli. At they were indicted afterwards. That's what I'm talking about. Not in the courts. Not dismissal in the courts. But dismissal in your level.
Before you respond, Secretary Guevara, being the Vice Chairman of the Committee on Justice, there's a pending request from the SOJ for the Committee Secretary to provide them copies of the TSNs. And the Committee Secretary is now being directed by the Acting Chair as of this moment to immediately transmit copies of the TSNs to DOJ.
All right, sir. So again, we would like to be apprised of the circular. What is your process now?
Well, as I explained, Senator, kung dismissal ang finding ng prosecutors upon preliminary investigation in a drug case and also in smuggling cases, that goes up automatically for review by the Secretary of Justice. I don't think that this will go to the Office of the President, considering the multifarious tasks already being done by the Office of the President.
Well, yes, it used to be that way,
yeah.
but you do not release the person involved, the suspect. You do not release.
In the first place, yes, Senator, preliminary investigation pa lang naman kasi, no?
Hindi, if he's under, if he's in custody, the person is in custody.
If he is in custody, all right. In that case, Ang present procedure is he will have to be released pending automatic review.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
During the time of Secretary Tatomanong and Gonzales, it was never like that. They cannot be released until it's final dismissal. So I suggest that you review your policy again. No? We suggest that you do not release them. Once you release them, pero nag-automatic review kayo, once you decide to indict, you will never find that person anymore.
We will take your suggestion in.
Thank you.
Senator.
The Minority Leader, Senator Drilon.
Thank you, Mr. President. I guess all these detailed questions are being asked because in the minds of the committee, and I'm sure the general public, there appears to be a cover-up of all of this. You know, that's why the members of the committee are asking such detailed questions, because this is the only way we will unearth whether or not, in fact, there was an attempt, there was a cover-up or an attempt to cover up. So, I'd like to ask General Petrosanda, the records and the previous testimony here has established the fact that on November 14, 2014, you signed the order dismissing Baloyo et al.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, after you signed that dismissal order, where did it go?
Napunta po yan sa, sinamit po namin sa DPRM.
Saan?
Sa Krami po.
Napunta sa Krami.
Opo.
Saan sa Krami napunta?
DPRM po.
Sa? Personnel.
Personnel po.
Who was in, okay. It took personnel from November 2014 to March 2016, 6 months to serve the dismissal order. I guess the question is, who sat on this and why?
Your Honor, sinamit po namin sa DPRM yan para po i-confirm ng CPNP yung dismissal po ng ng mga
Okay.
officers.
So you sent it to personnel in Krame,
Yes, Your Honor.
and the purpose being to,
For the confirmation and final approval of the Chief PNP.
so somebody would have to approve it in Chief PNP.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are not authorized under the rules to dismiss them.
Especially the two officers, Your Honor, the police commission officers.
How about the others? You were authorized to decide to dismiss them. You have the power to dismiss them. Other than the two officers.
During that time, medyo hindi pa pumalinaw kung kaya po nung naglabas ng memorandum ang Chief PNP, yun na po pinalik yung mga papeles na pwede na pong in the power of the regional director to dismiss PNCOs.
General, I assume this is not the first time when you impose the disciplinary action or impose the disciplinary action of dismissal. Is that correct? There were other times in the past that you also recommended the dismissal of certain PNP members for gross misconduct.
Yes, Your Honor.
Not only in this case. Yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
And in those particular cases, did you send it to the Camp Krame?
I could not remember the events, Your Honor. But usually, especially kung other positions, we recommended it to, especially in the district, we submitted for a confirmation, Your Honor.
Well, earlier you said that you submitted it for confirmation because of the 2 officers involved out of the 13.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, the implication is that insofar as the non-officers are concerned, you could have implemented the dismissal.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why did you not implement it?
It was the recommendation of the legal service to submit it to the
DPRM first, Your Honor, for the confirmation. Kasi po, buo po yung, yung grupo nila.
Okay. So there was, who recommended?
The members of the board, and at the same time, yun po yung usual na ginagawa namin.
Again, masyadong mainit itong kasong ito. Kanya-kanyang, you know, parang tawag dyan sa street language, iwas pusoy. That's the impression that we get. Somebody who was, you know, somebody was powerful enough na ayaw niyong i-implement, or either because of camaraderie or for whatever reason, iwas pusoy ang tawag dyan sa street lingo. And anyway, so who in Krame did you send again the recommendation to dismiss?
The director for personal records management, Your Honor.
Who was that?
I think General Aquino.
Si Aaron?
Dominador Aquino.
Not the General Aquino here that we have. All right, now. And are you saying it is there that the case
Dzxl Special Coverage.
in November of 2014, or a period of 6 months, the case folder slept somewhere? Saan kayo natulog yun? Because that could indicate that indeed there was some unseen hand intervening, so that binigyan muna siguro ng sleeping pill yung kaso para matulog. So who had custody of this case folder? Would you know?
Clarification lang with the permission of
Go ahead,
Senator
Senator
Lacson. Between October 14, 2014, di ba? Yun yung dismissal order mo eh.
November
November
14.
Okay, November of 2014 hanggang March 14 o March 2 yung service ng order. Hindi nyo pa
2016.
ipo-forward sa Krami yun kasi hindi pa kumpleto eh. Hindi pa nakapag ng MR. So hindi pa final yon kasi nag-file ng MR March 14, 2016. So bakit mo itatransmit yung dismissal order sa Krame? Hindi pa implementable yon. Because due process, MR, kailangan mahintay mo na MR. Ang tanong ni Senator Drilon, bakit naman ang tagal i-serve yung notice ng dismissal o yung order ng summary board? It took you 6 months. 6 months ba yun? Between, no. Between November 2014 and, 1 year and 3 months. Saan daw natulog? Hindi pwedeng pinadala sa DPRM sa Krame. Hindi pa implementable yun eh.
Since November 14, 2016 up to first week of December, I was already suspended.
Hindi, teka muna. November 2014 yung dismissal order mo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ang tanong ni Senator Drilon, bakit tumagal ng March 2, 2016 bago na i-serve yung order? Saan nakatulog? Sabi mo, pinadala sa DPRM, which I will not buy. Because, paano may papadala sa Krami yun? Eh, hindi pa tapos yung due process, yung investigation nyo. No?
Yes, sir.
Wala pa.
Actually, Your Honor, hindi ko na po na-monitor yung series of events nun.
So, Panginoon si Rudy, siya naman ang pumalit sa'yo.
Meron pong OIC-ing pumalit po sa akin.
Hindi ba may mga record yan? In any government office, paglabas sa opisina mo, may record yan. Pagdating doon sa Krame, may record yan. Saan napunta, may record yan. Why can you not put here in the record of the Senate who are the people who released it from your office, what date, saan napunta, sa Krame, what date, and then from the personnel, from the civic clerk, where did it go? And then where did it stay until it was served by the provincial, by General Lacadin? Is that correct? So, you know, this is what we're trying to figure out. Because in my count, it took about 48 months from November of 2013 to the dismissal, or I mean, to the final act of the motion in November 2017, a total of 48 months from the incident. Yan po, mahirap ipaliwanag. Kahit po saan tayo magpunta, hindi mo maiwasan na mag-isip, medyo maselan itong kasong ito. Because ang tatagal ng mga periods kung saan naging pending sa anong opisina. Yes.
Your Honor, may I be recognized, Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead.
The question propounded by the good Senator Lacson was why is it that they have to send the decision or forward the decision of Sir Patrasanta to the national headquarters. Your Honor, I will be citing a concrete circular coming from the PNP, particularly this PNP Memorandum Circular 2013-020. Specifically, Your Honor, this is paragraph 5, subparagraph C2, which requires that all administrative adjudication, and this is the decision in admin case, involving serious, grave offenses filed against PCOs and NUPs with salary grade 1 to 17 shall be approved and signed by the Chief PNP pursuant to the principle of the power to appoint, open parentheses, hire and close parentheses, comes with the power to dismiss. Pursuant to that, Your Honor, and pursuant to the records of the case, although this was dated November 14, yet, Your Honor, I have no concrete copy telling that it was received indeed by the higher headquarters, yet records reveal that there was a communication sent by the regional office PRO3, particularly the OIC of the personnel, to the higher headquarters. So that will explain, Your Honor, why the decision was not implemented by the regional director of Region 3 at that time, pursuant to this Memorandum Circular 2013-020. And Your Honor, the PNP is strictly bound by this Memorandum Circular. Thank you, Your Honor.
With the permission, again, ang nire-refer mo, pag may final disposition na yung kaso, ipapadala mo because the power to hire and fire up to the rank of superintendent or lieutenant colonel belongs to the chief PNP. Above that, President of the Philippines. Below that, pagka PNCO, ang alam ko during my time, sa regional director level na yan. Ang binasa mo circular, that's in reference to finally disposed na kaso. Ito hindi pa. Ang sinasabi ko, hindi pa nakapag-file ng MR, so nasa level pa rin ng regional director yan. Ngayon, kung finally nag-file ng MR, pagkatapos dinicide pa rin, denied yung MR, saka pa lang niya naakyat sa national headquarters kasi nga dismissal yung penalty. Final judgment hindi pa kumpleto yung due process Bakit ipapadala sa DPRM? Hindi pa naman kumpleto yung due process. The process has not been completed.
I highly respect Your Honor that proposition, Your Honor. However, during that time, again, I may said that
again, the circular, hindi sinabi dyan na yung wala pang MR, papadala mo na sa krame.
Yes, Your Honor. That's why I highly agreed with you, Your Honor, that your statement is...
Kaya mali pa rin yung pinadala sa krame.
Yes, Your Honor,
Okay.
I highly agree with you. And I submit, Your Honor.
All right. Just a few more points.
Kung hindi pa nasagot, ang tanong ni Senator Dillon, saan natulog? Between November 2014 and March 2, 2016, nung sinerve yung order, saan natulog? Hindi sa krame, definitely.
Saan natulog? Wala bang makasagot kung saan natulog yung kaso? O sige. Kasama rin sa misteryo sigurong tatalakayin na lang ng committee pagdating na...
Can we not answer? I mean, can we not fix this problem? It's napakasimple lang. Ba't natulog ng ganun katagal? Did you not follow up, sir? General Lacadin?
Thank you, Your Honor. Based on the transmittal from DPRM dated February 1, 2016, that was the same transmittal of the documents transmitted by General Petrasanta to Camprame. The transmittal was signed by Police Director Dominador Aquino Jr., who was then the director of DPRM.
All right. So that was signed by General Aquino, the transmittal to Krame. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. In Krame, who received it and where did it sleep?
Hindi ko na po masasagot, sir, kasi hindi pa ako director
Yeah.
that time. I can only answer
Who can answer that?
nailipat na sa amin.
Sir, just yung sinasabi ni General Lacadin, sir, yung transmittal, kasi kay Sir Aquino, sir, hindi, kay Dominador Aquino, sir, hindi pwedeng papuntang Krame. Sa Krame po si...
No, from Krame to Region 3. Ito yung sinasabi ko.
Okay, so...
Just for the record, the intervening statement was made by General Corpus.
All right.
Go ahead, General Senator Dino.
All right. So, General Petrasanta said it had to be sent to Krame because there were 2 officers involved. Is that a correct recollection of your statement, sir? General Petrasanta?
At the same time, sir, yung binasa po kanina ni Senior Superintendent or Colonel Lopez, yun po ang basis namin, kaya namin sinabit yung...
Noong pagbalik po, when the case folder was returned to the region 3, was there a written confirmation insofar as these 2 officers are concerned? Just for the record.
Hindi ko na po alam yun, Your Honors.
I'm sorry?
Hindi ko na po alam yun, Your Honor, because I
You
was
would
not
not know.
ready.
So, because I'm just following up your statement that the reason why you referred it there to Krame is that it needed confirmation for the 2 officers. Although from that statement, it is also clear that the dismissal of the non-officers, and there were, 10 of them, needed no confirmation. And they could have been dismissed, or the order of dismissal could have been served on them. Nevertheless, it was not served. So, because allegedly, the dismissal of the officers would have to be confirmed by Camp Krame, which procedure is questioned by the former chief of the PNP, now Senator Lacson. But nevertheless, having said that, was there a confirmation of the dismissal on the officers? Was this confirmation in writing, just to validate that statement?
None, Your Honor. However,
None.
because what was sent to the regional office, PRO3, dated February 1, 2016, was a memorandum, likewise directing Your Honor, that administrative cases and records of PNP personnel be remanded back.
Can you, Madam Ms. Lopez, or
Yes, sir.
huh? Colonel Lopez, what is it? What did you say? February 1, 2016. What was that?
Yes, Your Honor. It was a February 1, 2016
Can
memorandum.
you speak closer to the microphone because
Memorandum, Your Honor,
not.
which was issued by the national headquarters, particularly, Your Honor, Dominador E. Aquino, who was then the Directorate for Personnel and Records Management, Your Honor. Your Honor, may I quote the same?
Yes. Oh, see.
Okay.
Not the entire thing, just the substance. Oh.
Yes, Your Honor. I mentioned this paragraph 3 that in this connection, remanded to that office are the administrative case records of PNP personnel forwarded to this directorate for your disposition. Meaning to say, Your Honor,
Can you just repeat that before interpreting it?
Okay. Paragraph 3, Your Honor, of this memorandum provides that in this connection, remanded to that office that office pertains to the regional offices, like in this region, Region 3, are the administrative case records of PNP personnel forwarded to this directorate for your disposition. Your Honor, may I qualify? May I explain, Your Honor? Pursuant to that directive, Your Honor, which I mentioned a while ago, and this was particularly a memorandum citing this Memorandum Circular 2013-020, requiring that administrative adjudication involving serious grave offenses filed against PCOs and NUPs be approved and signed by the Chief PNP pursuant to the principle of power of comes from the power to dismiss. Your Honor, during that time, although
All right. Okay, I have heard enough. And, your interpretation is on record, and we can make our own conclusion.
Yes.
In any case, it is on just on the facts. On February 1, 2016, the case was returned
remanded.
to the police region where it originated from,
Yes.
which is Region 3,
For-
with a statement for your disposition. Okay, it is clear that the case is being returned for you to implement after 14 months. It's left in Camp Crame without any action taken. And contrary to your statement, I'm sorry, General Petrasanta, that it needed approval because pagbalik po sa inyo ang referral lamang, quote, for your disposition, close quote. So, ibig sabihin, for your implementation, there is no confirmation by the Chief PNP of the dismissal of the officers, contrary to your statement that you have said it there for confirmation. They did not confirm. They just said, for your disposition. Now, it is on that basis. So, February 1, 2016, binalik po sa Region 3 for your disposition. So, that is the fact now. And it was only because it was only on March 2, after it was received, that the order was implemented. And it took, again, after the MR was filed on March 14, it took another 20 months for the demotion to be implemented. Dinemote na nga, dinelay pa. This is truly unusual, and I myself am not convinced that there was no effort to delay this, to sit on it deliberately for for the agenda of some people. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
I would like to, in fairness to General Bayalde, I'd like to ask some questions if I may. General Bayalde has been on the carpet for so long na nahihirapan din sa sigurado, and I'm not being hypocritical here. The key to me here is people who are guilty should be punished. People who are unfairly being judged must be able to be given a chance to explain themselves, and that's why really this is Al Bayalde Day. Talaga kung talaga tutusin, in addition to other things, in fairness. So let me first ask General Petrasanta kanina. General Petrasanta, sinabi nyo kanina pinatawag nyo si General Albayalde pagkatapos na marinig itong nangyari ito in accordance with the orders of General Purisima. Totoo po ba yan?
Immediately after the operation po, a day after.
So pinatawag nyo po. Nag-usap po kayo?
Yes po.
Ano po pinag-usapan nyo?
I was clarifying the evidences presented, and because of our validation intelligence reports that seemingly hindi po lahat yung mga ebidensya na nakuha ng mga doon sa raid na nangyari.
So sinabi nyo, may nag-raid under your jurisdiction, yung intelligence officer mo, si Colonel Baloyo, kasama yung tao niya, tinatawag kita rito para paliwanag mo. Ganun ba ang siste?
Hindi po. I called up the provincial director to give me a honest to goodness report regarding the incident dun sa raid na nangyari the day before.
Were you satisfied with the report? Wala pa report nun, wala pa formal.
Wala pa po.
Pero may report siya rito na sinasabi na August ang sabi niya doon sa report, spot report practically, on November 23, meron kami nakuhang information dito na may nag-ooperate ng drug or something like that. Pag kinukuha ko yung papel, no? Tapos, on November 29, nag-raid. So sa mga tweet, alam ni General Albayalde na November 23 pa, meron na. Pero doon sa pagtanong namin ni Senator Lacson isang araw, si General Baloyo, sabi niya, nalaman na namin alas 2. 29. At lumalabas doon na tinawag pa si Laksamana, ikaw ang casing, at pagkatapos sabi niya, hindi po ako pumasok, hindi ako kasama dyan, hindi po ako pumasok. So sa madaling sabi, pati yung affidavit ni Santos na pinapahanap ko, November 29. I'm trying to get a copy of the spot report signed by General Albayalde para nagkaroon ng 23. Yung, hindi yan. Underline ko ba yan? Ito. I will read it para maintindihan niyo. No? Nakalagay, Acting Regional Director PRO3, kayo ho yun?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
From Acting Provincial Director, Special Report Reconfiscation of 36.681 kilos. Bibilisan ko lang ho dahil marami ako tanong, no? RIDs, ano yung ibig sabihin doon?
Regional
Intelligence
Division.
Rating scheme based on National Strategic Action Plan for Intelligence. Spot report from this office dated November 29, 2013. This pertains to the anti-illegal drugs operation conducted by elements of Pampanga Police Provincial Office at Woodbridge Subdivision, Lakeshore, Barangay Divisoria, Mexico, Pampanga on November 29, 2013 at about 5 p.m. Nasabi sa amin ni Colonel Baloy, 4:30, 4 o'clock, thereabouts. Okay, give or take half an hour. That resulted in the arrest of one Ding Wen Kum, 30 years old Chinese national from Yangtze Province, Republic of China. People's Republic of China siguro ito. And one Roel Cabag I Luwage, or alias Owi, 48 years old, of Sambuan, Cebu City, and the recovery of 36.6 kilos of methamphetamine. Di ba dapat masaya kayo dyan? Nakakuha ng 36 kilos?
Yes, Your Honor, but yung validation namin is contrary po dun sa...
Yung intelligence finding nyo?
Yes po.
Na mas maraming nakuha. Ganun
Yes,
ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, yun siya pinatawag. Ano? Tapos, coming on Shabu, with an estimated value, mali pa pala sinabi ko, ang value ko, 160 million. Ito sabi ni General Albayalde, 182.5 million pesos, yung 36 kilos. Cash money amounting to 300,000 and the marked money of 100,000 pesos. The operation was a result of a week-long surveillance. Week-long. That means General Albayalde was aware of it. Were you aware of it, sir?
Sir, again, I go
relied
back
on the
to
staff.
my answer, sir. Yung kanina po, pag sinabi kasi natin sa ordinary, this is for purposes sir, of awards and decorations lang po.
I will
sir.
get to that.
Yes,
Sabi
sir.
nyo, week-long surveillance and case built up by members of the PD. Sa liwado sa sinasabi ni Colonel Baloyo at the time, received the information from Bullet. Hanggang ngayon, di pa lumalabas si Bullet. Buhay pa ba si Bullet, Colonel Juan? Yung asset mo? Bullet o binulit na? Binulit na siya.
Your Honor, wala na po akong information kay Bullet.
Di ba inaalaga niya yung mga asset niya dapat? Di ba may institutional alaga ng asset yan? Pinapasa mo sa mga kaibigan mo, sa mga para pa alam niyo kung sino tatawagin. Di ba? Answer.
After ng operation po, Your Honor, wala na pong contact.
Yun ang problema, walang institutional building.
Wala po.
Alright. Superintendent Baloy immediately informed the undersigned about the said information. The undersigned immediately instructed subject PCO to conduct case built up. So, 2 o'clock ka, sabi mo ganun eh. Doon kayo nagsimula. Ito, November 23, sinasabi na pagkanda ka ng case build up against the suspect. November 23 ka sinabihan yan, lumalabas. Tama? Ito, best evidence ito.
Yun po yung sa
Okay, yes.
Yung report niya.
The informant further obtained, further claimed that they can buy the shabu from a certain alias Owie on November 25, 2013. On November 25, huh? Superintendent Baloy instructed the informant to arrange for the purchase of shabu worth 100,000 pesos. A day after the informant contacted Superintendent Baloy that alias Owie agreed to meet them in the afternoon of November 29, 2013 at Nara Street, Woodbridge, Lakeshore, Barangay Divisoria, Mexico, Pampanga for the said drug trade. About 3 p.m. same date, Bullet informed Baloyo that OE confirmed the availability of shabu. Hence, 2 personnel of PAID SOTM of Pampanga, PPO, who acted as posure buyers. Nasa batas yan. Posure buyer, dapat may posure buyer. And alias Bullet immediately proceeded to said address and met alias Owie. After the posure buyer showed the marked money to Owie, they were made to enter the house of the said address, and while inside, the police officer saw a Chinese-looking person repacking kilos of white crystalline substance suspected to be a shabu. Immediately after Owie received the marked money, the pursuers